indication when you're ready for us to go live on you. Brother Jeffrey will be on YouTube. So I guess whatever you're sharing is okay for us to stream live.
Go.
You were ready to go? Okay.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day, whatever the time that you are may be. We are happy to have you spend your afternoon, Sunday morning, Sunday evening with us. And this is Patience Ajongwen, joining you guys from Hillsborough, New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey is in the house. And today we're so excited to have our brother here, which will be introduced in the way that he's deserved to introduce. But before we start, we always like to play our music that puts us in check. That was given to us by one of our own very queen sister, Lerato, Shadare, that we're going to hear from her too soon about our minds. Because if the mind is not ready, the physical is not ready, the financial might be useless. So we're going to hear from her momentarily. So over to you, Dr. Derek, to play our signature soon. Please look at it. We have a non-verbal communication on the songs. He updates it with information. Over to you, Dr. Derek.
With one heart, and wherever you
ONPASSIVE, the future of internet.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Okay. Wow. ONPASSIVE.
We are in
The
it.
future
Win
of
it,
internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from. We really appreciate you for making the time out of your busy schedule to be here this Sunday afternoon in the US, and whatever time that you are where you're joining us. You know, but I know we made that time to be here because this is our company, this is our business, and who else will man that business but us? That is why we're here this time at this moment, to learn more, to hear more, to know what is going on, not to be left out with any information. You have to be on top of things to make things work well. So thank you all for coming. And thank you, Dr. Derek. Oh my God, you always amaze us with those pictures and captions when you play that music. It just walks us down memory lane every time that we watch and listen to it. And as we all know, that music was given to us by no one else but our very own brand ambassador, Sister Lerato. And she is the one that has been preparing our minds, because, you know, you need to have a sound mind to be able to do things, to make sound decisions, and to make sure everything, especially concerning your business, is moving. Because if your mind is not sound, you can't make sound decision. You won't even know what you need to do next. So we need that sound mind. And as we all know, for years, since we've been on this webinar, Sister Lerato is one of those that always prepares us, that keeps our minds in check, and which we desperately need, especially at this time when things are changing for the better. Whoa, when ONPASSIVE is, you know, about to be a household name. So thank you all. And at this moment, we're going to need another piece of that mindset from our very own Sister Lerato. Over to you, sister. And
hello,
welcome.
my beautiful sis. How are you?
Great.
How's everybody doing today? I'm sure everybody's doing well. Everybody's prospering in every way, in your health, in your mental capacities, in everything. We are all prospering, right? And we are speaking this. We're speaking prosperity over our lives. We're speaking it over everything in our lives. So I am so happy, and that's a choice, right? Even sometimes when things are just, you know, going helter-skelter, I choose happiness, I choose joy. It's a choice, guys. It's a choice, and I'm happy to be here. I'm privileged to be here, to be given another opportunity, another day to make better choices, to love better, to choose life, right? To choose life. So I'm very, very excited, and I can't wait to hear my brother Jeffrey, one of our prolific leaders, speaking today. I'm looking forward to that, because I know it's going to be so scrumptious and delicious and wholesome, right? So, I mean, we've spoken about a lot of things throughout the time. We spoke about fear, we spoke about love, we spoke about, you know, a fear of change, you know. And last week, Sister Irene, you said something very profound. You said some people are fearful because they don't know. It's the fear of the unknown. That's why some people are resistant to change. And it's that some people are afraid of the unknown, and because they don't trust the process. It's a lack of trust in the process, or lack of trust in things actually working out. And it all goes to the mindset to say, what are you setting up yourself for? Are you setting yourself up for success or for failure, right? Our CEO always says, failure is not an option because that's not in his books. It's not something that he's setting himself up for. So he's not looking for failure. He's looking for success. And his mindset is basically programmed for success, right? And this is what we should do. I spoke about choice when I started talking. I said, everything is a choice, guys. You choose happiness. You choose to surround yourself with everything that will correlate with your spirit as it pertains to happiness, because nobody, right? Thank you. Nobody wants to it's a choice, right? Before I lose that trail of thought. So we're just going to speak a little bit about the change. I said last week that we will continue where we stopped when we spoke about change, that, you know, change brings a lot of things. And last week I was speaking to somebody that I really, really, really have respect for. And we always, you know, exchange our thoughts together. And we spoke about change. And she said, you know, change is not easy. Change is very painful, right? It's something that you go into consciously and knowing that it's not going to be easy. And she made an example and she said, you know, all these animals that shed their skin, normally when they shed their skin, they will go into isolation and shed their skin because, you know, they're preparing for something new. But we cannot take the process for granted, because it's a process that they'd have to do in isolation. And we don't know if it hurts or if it's something that is uncomfortable, but nevertheless, they know they have to do it in order for life to move forward. In order for growth to happen, they have to do it. It's not a matter of, oh, I'm gonna head somewhere, I'm not letting myself grow. If you're afraid of change, you're afraid of growth, and then that means then life cannot continue. Life doesn't move forward when you're afraid of change, because things change. Brother Michael said it also last week to say, we were all babies at one time and we grew, right? I remember when I was younger, I was asking my mom because there was a particular doll that I loved so much. And I was like, I don't want to be a teenager, because that means then I have to stop playing with my dolls. Oh my God, that thing just, you know, I was so traumatized for the longest time. I was like, why should I leave my dolls? And when the time came for the change to happen, it happened automatically. I remember then my mindset started changing and I started wanting different things, right? And longing for different things, because then life has to progress. Life has to move forward. You cannot stay a baby. You cannot stay playing with toys forever. You have to move on. Or with dolls, I wouldn't have, you know, I couldn't get stuck there at that age and just refuse to grow because now I don't want to leave my dolls behind. No, life has to move forward. Change has to happen, right? And this is what this person that we were discussing, that then as much as it seems intimidating and the fear of the unknown and that resistance to say, oh my God, how am I going to now move to the next stage and leave what I know behind? And if you're moving forward to something better, then you have to really work with your mind. You know, for those people who have like that fear, you have to work with your mind and now determine what it is that you want to choose. And that also goes to self-knowledge, right? When you know that, you know what, I'm not married to my struggle, because that's another thing. People are married to their struggle. People are married to their struggle. And when something better comes, they resist it because they would rather stay in that struggle and have the, oh, woe me, you know, and have the, oh, shame, they're struggling, instead of actually looking for something better because they're comfortable in their struggle. It happens with so many people that, you know, they've been in a particular place for a long time. When something better comes, they reject that something better because they're comfortable with their struggle, right? And for people who can see that this is a struggle, why would you be comfortable and then sit there? It's because they're afraid to manage something new. It's that fear of success. There's another one there. People are afraid of success because some of them is like, oh my God, how am I going to handle this? Something new? Am I going to, you know, how am I going to, manage it? You know, they're afraid that they won't be able to manage the better that they're looking for, right? But then that's why we do mindset, because then we have to prepare you for success. We have to prepare you for wealth, right? So if you've been dealing with $1 and now you have to deal with $1,000, some people are afraid because they wouldn't know what to do with it. And I remember at the beginning we had Dr. John here teaching us about financial literacy. You have to prepare for your success so that you're not overwhelmed when things start rolling in, so that you're not overwhelmed and you start self-sabotaging, right? So that you can make better choices, right? So all these things, all this fear. I spoke to you last time. I said there are choices that we have to make between the spirit of fear and the spirit of love. right? And then this spirit of fear, this fear of success is part of it, that you're operating in that fear of the unknown, of everything else. Everything is just so challenging and so overwhelming. But when you prepare well, you're able to apply yourself and make better and sound choices, right? So one, change has to happen. We cannot, for us to have butterflies, I mean, the caterpillars have to morph into butterflies, and it's a process, right? And that change has to happen. Otherwise, if caterpillars were sitting there worried about, oh my God, if I'm a butterfly, how am I going to be able to flip my wings? Okay, the colors, you know, all these things that they would be worried about, then we wouldn't have butterflies. And all of us know here that butterflies are so beautiful. They're so beautiful. So that change from the caterpillar to a butterfly had to happen, right? When change happens for something good to happen, it's so beautiful. And when you're ready for it, then it's delicious. It is so delicious when you're ready, right? Then you can manage your emotions. Then you can move for yourself forward, because you know that change comes for growth and for life to move forward. We need it. All right. Even in the systems that we're in right now, there's certain systems that don't work in our world right now, but we need that change. We are the change, right? We want to bring those changes that will make life better for humanity. We know there's better. We know there is better. There is better for all of us. There is enough for all of us. There is abundance for all of us. So something has to change, and we cannot be afraid to make those changes, right? As much as there are changes in our company right now, we even ask ourselves, as we progress and we're looking for a better world, we have to be comfortable with change, because it's intimidating. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very intimidating. Success and all these things that we're looking for, the change, the positive changes that we're looking for, it can be intimidating. But when we go in with a mindset that failure is not an option, quitting is not an option, because that's another thing that happens. Some people are so afraid of success and change that they would rather quit. They quit in the middle. And for us, we'll be thinking, how do you quit when things are getting better? How do you quit in the middle of something great happening? It's that fear. And for some people, it's in their subconscious minds. They don't even know that they have that fear. They act in a certain ways because they don't know themselves. They don't inquire with themselves. They see themselves acting a certain way. They don't even know, and they just dismiss it and they quit, and they would rather, fold their arms and say, "Que sera, sera." But we cannot afford to do that, right? We, as ONPASSIVians, we cannot afford to do that. We want change that is positive. We want good. We want to bask in the prosperity, because we know that when this prosperity comes, we are now the stewards to extend it to our families, to our communities, to everything else that we want to see develop and become better for next generation. So we cannot now, in the midst of change, or in the midst of transformation, or in the midst of morphing from the caterpillar to the butterfly, now we're stuck in the process and we are just going haywire, running helter-skelter and afraid. We cannot give in to fear. We cannot. So I want us now to sit with ourselves. I said to somebody last time, I was talking to one of my friends, I said, when I say I'm prosperous, see, when you feel a certain kind of resistance, you have to start now questioning yourself and say, what is this resistance? Why am I resistant? Or when you want something, or you're speaking something positive in your life, or you want something and you feel a certain kind of resistance, start questioning the resistance, because then it's going to start revealing hidden things that are still inside that you need to process in order for you to grow. When you're saying I'm prosperous and something says, really? Then question that feeling. Why are you saying, where is it coming from? Right? When there's a form of resistance, then you have to start working on the resistance to break it down, so that you can come out to the other side and be a butterfly, right? And become the butterfly that all of us here are. We are here for a change. We are here not looking for, but we are. Because all of us have so much potential. So much potential. My son came to me the other day and he was talking about a human body, and he said, "Mom, do you know that we have so much energy in our body that we can actually light up cities for weeks on end?" It was just, I was listening to him. I was like, can you imagine that you alone as a person, you can generate so much energy, right? So meaning that we are the light, guys. We are not here for decor. Every one of us has a purpose, right? So we cannot afford to sit in fear. and be comfortable with fear and be comfortable with mediocrity. We cannot be comfortable with that. So we all have a choice, guys. We have to start now making those choices. As we speak here every week, we speak about prosperity, mindset, all these things. Sit with yourself and now start questioning those prompts in your spirit that are not agreeing with good, that are not agreeing with your success, that are not agreeing with development, that are not agreeing with growth. Start questioning those things so you can overcome them and be the best version of yourself, and be the best version so that we can serve humanity, because that's what we're here for, and each other. I love you so much, guys. You all count. We all count here, guys. And when we're all good, all of us together, we're going to do great things. We are here to do great things. So in case you didn't hear it today, I love you so much, guys. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Wow, wow, wow. Don't we always hear that? Every time you speak, we end up with a wow. Thank you very much, sis. Thank you very much. We love you more.
Thank
you for what you do for us every week here. And, you know, with all that our sister said, I don't know about you, but what I picked is fear is necessary for us to grow. There's no way you're going to be a child forever. You know, you're going to go from a child to a toddler to, you know, I don't know, from a baby to a toddler to a child to a teenager and going forward. And so it's a natural process.
I just had to interject about Y2K. Okay, I carried all my family to Cameroon, and do you know where we spend New Year Eve? On the mountains. Not even. I just have to say you're not alone. How about you in them?
Wow. Thank you, everyone. Greetings to you all. And I know you didn't see my face until now, but I appreciate being with everyone as always. What can I say? We have our wonderful brother who always comes here to share his view with us. But Sister Lerato, thank you. Very much appreciated. So Brother Jeffrey, we don't even have to introduce him. We know that he has, every day he comes to us, he has something special to share. And this September to Remember is very unique. I will not even go ahead saying anything, because when I reach out to him, it does not matter where he is, he always shows up. We appreciate you finding time to be with us always. And when you go back, please, when the webinar is over, thank the grandchildren for letting you to share with us today, because we know that they are your life, and ONPASSIVE is equally your life. I started following ONPASSIVE through you by listening to your YouTube videos and then the ebook, and then now you're still here with us. Thank you so much. Just open our minds and share with us what you have brought to share with us today. Over to you, Brother Jeffrey. We appreciate you very much.
Wow. You know, listening to you, it's a good thing I don't have a good understanding of pressure, right? No pressure. I want to thank you, Deb, so much for just being the inspiration that you are, and Dr. Patience, too, for inviting me. And, you know, I've got something to say about Y2K, about you guys, and, you know, the stories you just told. Nothing happened, but you took action. Okay, you did something. You took action. And that same kind of action has got you sitting here right here today. Now think of what had happened, or what would have happened had something really happened. You guys would have been in good shape, and everybody else would have been out in the cold. So you might be laughing about it, but there's a lesson in there somewhere, you know what I mean? And Dr. Derek, thank you so much. It looked like you made some changes to your intro, man, and it was spectacular. Beautiful. I loved it. Loved every bit of it. And Lerato, oh my gracious, girl. Man. Yeah, we are speaking prosperity, and we are speaking to our mountains, aren't we? And it's so appreciated, all the blessings, Lerato, that come out of you in a continual way. And I think that you just open up. I mean, you got on, you started preaching a sermon, and I think I'm just going to continue preaching with this, which is kind of interesting because you seem to have a knack to do that with me. So thank you all just for being here and for inviting me and just blessing me in such a big way. It really is a very heart-filling thing. We used to, speaking of my granddaughters, you know, and such, we used to, when they were younger, say, oh, come here and fill up my loving heart. You just grab them and you just hug them, you know, and that's what you guys do with me here. You kind of fill up my loving heart. So it's good. It's great. Now, I don't have my grandkids this weekend. I get them next weekend for 3 or 4 days in a row. So I'll probably be pretty sparse next weekend. But today, we were talking about being all that we can be. And throughout the week, I was thinking about this, going, man, you know, how do you even tackle something like that? And I thought, well, I know that previously I've said that ONPASSIVE is a company that has a mission to restore dignity, right? And that through the process, or through this process of dignity restoration, it does it by lifting the human condition, and that's also a result of the process and everything that we're going through. And then ONPASSIVE's corporate philosophy promotes that heart-led attitude or mindset, if you will, and it also shares that they want to spread global abundance. So you got the heart-led part of it all, and then you've got the resource part, which is spreading global abundance. So to that end, ONPASSIVE is actually becoming, as we speak, a premier global distribution channel for abundance, and it's also becoming a very user-friendly channel, if you will, for connectivity for humans, lifting other humans. And by doing that, we lift the world, we lift the human condition, as we say. And these two philosophies, the heart-led business, right, that shares abundance, and then the heart side of it, which is the lifting of humanity and blessing and just loving people into a better place. Experience firsthand the success that Lerato was talking about, that we definitely do not want to be afraid of. And there's no reason to be afraid of it because we've got everything. And we're going to be able to experience apps that we probably currently have right now because we're not going to be living at this level. We're going to kind of be raised up. So I want to, that's a big umbrella by getting us to first understand what we have with ONPASSIVE. And to understand that, I want to take us back. I know a week or two ago, I started talking about the vision statement. So I want to go back to that, which is the one thing that very clearly tells us what we have in ONPASSIVE, and see if we can unpack that just a little bit so that we can move further beyond that. Because it goes like, well, if we want to be all that we can be, then what are the tools that we have that's going to help us to do that? So I want to unpack the tools that we've got to do that. And then once we have that, let's dig a little deeper into it and see where we're going. So there's a portion of the vision statement that says ensuring everybody succeeds by offering an environment with the highest standards and value while sustaining the benefits of a global stimulus plan. That we should probably put that in our head, in our memory, because that statement right there, which is the last, I think that's the last 2 or 3 lines of the vision statement, that hasn't changed, right, since it was written more than 4 years ago. And it mentions some things that we need to be not only aware of, but we need to put these in our heart and our mind, because this will give us strength for moving forward, saying, wow, I've got these things and this is how we're doing it. And because I have this and this being provided, then I have some faith and I have the ability and the power and the empowerment to move forward with what I want to do. So it mentions, first of all, success, right? And that success means, you know, different things to different people, but it's generally gauged by either accomplishment or an outcome of some sort. And those two things, accomplishment and outcome, they're commonly measured by either money, right? Gain in money or monetary gain, or abundance, right? Getting things. So keeping that in mind, right? That line also mentions environment. Now that's a pretty easy one because the environment we're talking about is obviously ONPASSIVE. But more specifically, if we drill down just a little bit, we're talking more about the OES, right? The ONPASSIVE ecosystem. So you've got the success portion, and then you have the environment portion, and it also mentions standards and values, right? And these standards, because they are so high, and we've talked about Mr. Mufar, and he's talked about these standards and having these high standards. And I think he says, you know, one way to kind of check that is because he says how we do anything is how we do everything, right? So the standards help to set the value, and that value and standard is set by the quality of the products and services that we have. I mean, that's gauged. There's so much value simply because of the way they're brought forward. I mean, they're written from scratch. They're automated through AI. They're integrated into a single platform. You know, they're extremely affordable or low cost. All those things bring value, right, to the world, and that value is experienced in a very tangible, practical way. And the way that we do that is through just our everyday life, right? With one of the most powerful ways probably being experienced is going to be through the generosity of ONPASSIVE. And with regard to product and service, within the EOS, we're talking generosity as something that's reflected in the, you know, subscription affordability, the commission percentages that are going to be paid out, the profit sharing that comes to us through, you know, through the corporate structure, just lots of stuff. Right now, there's less tangible ways that we can see this generosity as well. And what we're talking about here is all the marketing. Sometimes you're thinking, oh, it's just marketing, but that brings value that we can experience in a real way because we're being branded. It's not ONPASSIVE, it's us. So he's lifting us up through all this marketing and branding, right? The marketing is being done also not only by ONPASSIVE, but think about the marketing that we are doing, even on this webinar. The hundreds of thousands of people that are putting out all sorts of emails and social media posts, and I mean, just everything. So we're really getting a lot of visibility because of all the founders. That is something also that's very tangible if you look at that, because it's helping to grow. I mean, because of all this, we have people signing up by the thousands, you know, 10,000 a day. I think Mr. Mufar said last night that the founder base was now only about 40% of the actual membership. You may remember 2 or 3 years ago when we said there's going to be a point where the membership's going to pass the founder base, and eventually we're only going to be like 1% of the company. So if we keep that in mind, there's a lot that we can glean out of that. Now, there's other conduits for showing other generosities, the other legs of the ONPASSIVE, the data centers and the innovation labs and things of that nature, but you know, I'm not going to try to get into that right now. But like the vision statement that was written that, you know, that many years ago, we're starting to see the success. We're starting to see the rollout, you know, all these high standards and that most value, the abundance referred to as benefits of a global stimulus plan. And that's the last line, benefits of a global stimulus plan. All these things that I've just mentioned that we're talking about roll all up into benefits for us. And these are the things that we have to work with. These are in our resource or in our arsenal, if you will, that are going to make us more successful, and it's going to lift us. As we lift, we'll be able to lift those people around us. And I haven't even started getting into the heart value of ONPASSIVE. So, but yeah, we're seeing that change right now that Lerato was talking about earlier, right? We're seeing ONPASSIVE roll out on a very solid foundation, and it's hosting a very solid SaaS, a software as a service business model that has been created to support that vision and those things in particular that I was just naming. And namely, ONPASSIVE is providing value through its resources for economic growth that we're going to be using, right? Its technology and services, along with the other legs of the companies that I just mentioned, as well as, and this is something that we need to think about, the strategic partnerships that it has also developed. When you start looking at the things going on over in Dubai, especially, you know, with that huge, I want to say hotel, but I'm not sure what it is. It's massive, whatever it is. And then you think of the modulus car shows and just the government of Dubai, all the strategic partnerships that are seeking and don't, they lift us up and they give us more of resources to be able to do what we want so that we can actually be all that we can be. And when we look at ONPASSIVE as a whole, it's much less about business as usual. I mean, make no mistake, it is a business and it's got to operate that way, but it's more about a way to share abundance for lifting humanity and encouraging compassion that results in a compassionate action toward others that promotes the good of the world and the good of humanity. And it does this through us, right? Through us right now and through current and future members within ONPASSIVE. There's a quote that I'm going to quote, and I've quoted it before. I love it because it just so clearly says so much. And Mr. Mufara said this quote in August of 2020. This was, 3 years ago. Actually, it was October. So yeah, 3 years ago in 2020, he said, you pay and you own the world, because we're at that point right now. What he was talking about was paying that subscription and turning that light on, right? He says, you pay and you own the world. That's it. That's what ONPASSIVE is. Everything that you need to communicate, to learn, to educate, to earn, to connect with the world, to promote your business to any activity that goes around your daily life. Today's life is already in ONPASSIVE. And once you make that payment, the light goes on. That really does a beautiful thing. That's like, but I love his other one though, that no company will ever give you the value, no company in the world. That one I just love. So anyway, this is to say, what I'm saying here is that eventually we're not only going to have the resources to help determine what our passion is in life. I mean, if you look at everything we've got and you're like, oh, that looks interesting, or this looks interesting, and you're going to start trying things out, and you're going to, oh, I'm going to subscribe to that. It may be a gem for you that actually helps you or helps all of us to be able to understand more clearly what our passion is and the path that we need to take, right? When we do that, then with those resources that help determine what our passion is, that's also going to help us put our individual passions into action. And that's going to be for the benefit of ourselves and our families and our communities. And we're going to be able to expand it because we're already global. We can lift ourselves and then lift those around us and expand out. We are already been global for a long time. But right now we're starting to see these resources come into a place where we can tangibly check them out. And we're starting to get quite a few of us. I think Mr. Mufara had indicated, well, I don't know if I should say that, but he talked about how much commission was actually paid out last night. The point is, we're going to have enough of everything, and the timing is going to be right so that we can, on a global level, reach out and help everybody. And it's kind of like when it starts raining, you'd think this little drop is not going to do much. But 5 minutes after it's raining, you look around and the entire landscape is wet, and you're like, well, that one little drop didn't hit over there, but this one did. And after a while, it's all connected. And we're the same way. We're going to have exactly what we need in the proportion we're going to need it. It's going to bless us. We're not going to have to be afraid of it. We're not going to have to worry about losing it. And in doing all the things ONPASSIVE is doing, it's helping us to be able to reach out and pick and choose what we want to do in ways that are best for us, that will help us to become more of who we are supposed to be. Now, you know, it's going to help us get on the right path, and life is really going to be good. And I want to talk just shortly about a couple of things. I think it was last week. I can't remember. I've been on so many. Our sister Ilana Lebanon. She's a young lady that speaks Hebrew, and she's just a perfect, a great founder. She talked about being sensitive to the needs of others, and we need to be that way. We need to be sensitive to others' needs, because providing for those needs promotes the right kind of growth, the kind of growth that Lerato was talking about, right? We've seen this sensitivity that she was referring to modeled by Mr. Before repeatedly, and he's done it by, I mean, he's given forgiveness to those that attack him on a daily basis, right? And he understands our need for being successful at some level. I mean, this whole thing started because he was concerned that 97% of us have that fail. And, because we've seen these types of things exemplified in him, in behavior and in his action, then we can do the same thing. We can model that sensitivity. We can understand when somebody's hurting, or they need whatever it is they need. We can help them to attain it. And a lot of that is coming from what ONPASSIVE is giving us. So even though it may be just one day you need a heartfelt word or something like that just to lift somebody, in the long term, we're going to have resources that are going to lift us into a place of abundance, and we're going to be able to help those people that need something more tangible. Maybe they need a few $1,000s, or maybe they need a car that runs, or maybe they just need shoes for their children, or maybe they need a light bill paid. Whatever it is, however you're moved to help, you're going to be able to do that because of what we have here. Sensitivity to the difficulties that we have in everyday life, because we experience those, we can recognize those in other people. And because we've seen his sensitivity, right, exemplified by Mr. Mufar, then we can do the same thing, and we can do it for those that need, that we know in our communities or our families. But we all start at the roots, and that, when we're sensitive to their needs, that helps us grow. So that's a part of us becoming all that we can be. And that's the right kind of growth we're looking for. You want that healthy growth, that good, the mental growth, emotional growth, spiritual growth, the kind of growth that is being promoted here and encouraged by the philosophies of heart-led lives are the kind of growth that lead to the raising of human consciousness, and it's humanity lifting growth. So that's how we become all that we can be in this, by taking advantage. When we do this, and we have this wave of compassion, this love that emanates, this heart energy that comes out, and it motivates a compassionate action, right? I mean, it moves out, affecting everybody in positive, uplifting ways. When we use all that Mr. Mufara is providing to us through ONPASSIVE, its resources and technology and heart, to the extent that it lifts us, so we lift those around us, that's when we can really become all that we can be, and we can be the best versions of ourselves. Now, in closing this whole thing out, there was something that I want to bring up that I feel was very, very important, that I think that we can all do something about. Last night on the webinar, Mr. Mufar spoke about some things that are rather troubling, and I'm going to keep it kind of vague, but still trying to get the point across. You know, he talked about some hurtful things that are coming at us and at him in particular from outside of ONPASSIVE, right? Things that he and his family have gone through at a personal level, and what he resonated, or what he put out resonated rather with me quite deeply. And I was touched. I was amazed first by the resiliency of heart that he has, that he's forever looking to cultivate within himself, you know, to become more and to become better on his mission to lift humanity. And in talking about the things he did, he actually took responsibility on himself, saying, I'm the one that needs to change. He didn't talk badly about anybody. He didn't mention anything derogatory. He just was saying, I'm going through some things that I think are not quite fair, but you know what? I'm the one that needs to change. And what he was saying is, I need to raise up. I need to be more loving. I need to be more than what I am, because the people that are coming against me, or the people that are hurting me and my family, I don't know if they know what they're doing, and I'm not responsible for them, but I'm responsible for me. So he said, I'm the one that needs to change. And that statement reflected the attitude of forgiveness toward those that are responsible. And amazingly, that statement to me was an indicator that he's made his mind up, that he's gonna use what's happening to him as an opportunity for personal growth, and as an opportunity to rise up and to become more of what he can become, and to be the best version of himself. So we have this, yet another example, an incredible example, if we'll just pay attention to it. But I've said all that to say this, that there's a battle. That battle is between good and evil, and Mr. Mufara and his family they're in the thick of it. They need our prayers. So I'm just asking that we would take just a few minutes a day, lift them up, bless them, that they can receive joy and peace, protection, and the power to overcome. Thank you.
Oh, Brother Jeffrey, this is Sister Patience. You go ahead.
But Jeffrey, you got the emotions, the raw emotions, the true emotions of a brother. I don't want to be emotional, because we don't want this. We don't want to turn it to a pity party. It's a thing of joy. But we have to know that even Jesus, when he came out there, he was crucified, he was stoned, he was beaten, trying to do the right thing. So as we've heard our brothers speak today, whatever you believe in, please put everybody, all ONPASSIVE in your prayers, but especially Mr. Ashmofar and his family. They take a lot of heat that we don't understand, and we sit here with our little tiny $97, and we're expecting some update, like some big contributors of building this company. We sit there with this facade that we have the right to know everything. But we have a person that is shielding, is promising. So I'm going to fight that fight. I'm going to raise that race. I'm going to take that battle for you. All you have to do, just show up. Show up. So let's show up for them as well. In prayers, in everything that we can possibly do to show up. A lot of founders, a lot of us, because they've given us a name of founding member, and we put in some $97. We feel entitled, but we don't understand what the family is going through. And our brother, King Jeffrey, has really shared with raw emotion. And that is what makes us human. So please, let's be patient. Let's trust the system. You know, today we had to quickly switch platform because we really needed to hear from our brother Jeffrey. I could have canceled the meeting. But so well, we're blessed to have another platform that we can just quickly share. But this is the reason that we had this meeting to go on. To see our leaders' heart, to see empathy, to see love, to see support. Let's show up and do that for each other. I'll just stop here, Sister Debbie. I don't want to get emotional as well. I'll just stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Dr. P. Brother Jeffrey, we appreciate you, and we have been praying for him and his family. Each time we meet and deep dive and dream teams, we always pray for him. I think Dr. Derek had a couple of those sessions last week where each person had to. So he is in our radar on a regular basis, in public on this forum, in public on YouTube, and also in our individual homes and when we speak with one another. Yes, Queen JW. I almost missed the shade of your hand.
In fact, I didn't know that I raised it, but it's been a while since I had.
Sorry, Jehu, not you, Jacqueline Warner.
Then if you can finish and Jackie comes.
Hi.
Hi, Queen JW, Queen Jehu.
Let her go? I can let her go.
Yeah, it's okay. You decide. Whomever wants to go first, please.
Okay. Well, since I'm here, I'm just going to continue. Well, thank you so much for this amazing platform, you know, and the amazing leaders. I just want to thank you, Queen Debbie, Dr. Derek, Queen Lillian, Dr. Patience, and all of you, Irene, and so forth. But Dr. Jeffrey, yes, you brought us where we need to be, because I don't think some of us realize how much our CEO put his life and his family life on the line for each and every one of us every day. And because really the depth that he throws it out there, but he doesn't ponder on it. He just passed through it and keep positive all the time. So we can remain positive, so we don't flint at one negative thing that we see online, you know. So we're supposed to throw in the towel and leave him all alone. If he didn't throw in the towel for us, we can't throw in the towel for him. Thank you, Dr. Jeffrey. I appreciate that. I feel you. I'm there with you. And I know what it is that Mr. Ashmafara and his family is going through, because they have no peace whatsoever. And the amount of money they have put out for us, we should not be ungrateful, but we shall be grateful and continue to pray for him every day of our life, because when he fails, we fail. Thank you so much. Enjoy the webinar. Whew.
Thank you, Queen Jacqueline. Sister I.
Sister Jay will go first then.
Oh, Sister Jehu, yes. Queen Jehu, where are you?
I'm here.
Your co-host, anyway, you can proceed, please. Then Sister Irene and Dr. Benny.
I'll be brief. I'm very happy, of course, to not only be here, but to be able to share my face and see all my friends here who carry the torch each and every week. The dream team has wonderful dreams, and I'm very happy to be associated with you. Jeffrey, thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for sharing your experience. You were very insightful, and it made me, in hearing the comments, think about Ash, my son, because he's in a challenging position, but I know for a fact that the peace of God that excels all thought guards his mental powers. So yes, we should be supportive of him. I'm sure he has expressed it many times how much he appreciates the prayers. I'm sure that the prayers is what, helps him when the frustration comes from those of us who lose our mind from time to time. But we're very fortunate to have someone that we didn't know to love us as much as we do. Oftentimes we always, as spiritual people, we think about the Christ, true enough. But when we get to experience it in the flesh, someone who expresses love for us before we even know them, really, what a blessing that is. So those are my comments. Again, hello, everybody. I've missed you all and was happy to be among the platform. Thank you.
We miss you too, Queen Jehu. Good to have you with us today. And whenever you make it, we love having you. Queen I?
Thank you very much, Sister Debbie. Just also want to thank everyone that has already spoken. And thank you very much, Brother Jeffrey. You spoke from your heart and it touched each and every one of us. But as we all know, the devil doesn't like anything good. When something good shows up, he will fight tooth and nail to destroy it. Just like Dr. Patience said, even Jesus, when he was here on earth, he was beaten, spat on, disgraced, and actually even killed and buried. So it is not surprising that we will see that going on with our CEO. But I know the God that he serves because he talks about him every day. And that God had promised all of us that he will not leave us nor forsake us. So mindless of all the challenges, all the difficulties, whatever that he's going through with his family, our prayer is that he will be of good cheer, for the Lord has overcome the world. And the best thing you can give someone is prayer. That is what we have been doing here in the Dream Team and Deep Dive. We've been praying for him since we started. We are still praying for him and will continue to pray for him till his kingdom come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister I. Dr. Benny?
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Queen Debbie, for giving me this opportunity. This is something that I have never seen. I have never seen. Brother Jeffrey, I've never seen you cry. You are the love that you have for our CEO. I'm feeling it as well. Brother Jeffrey, may the Lord guide and protect our CEO. He is our God. As you all know that God owns ONPASSIVE. But he chose somebody. And that person is Mr. Ash. Mr. Ash Mufara accepted the calling That is why he always mentioned, either I do or I die. There is no other person on earth that will say such a thing. Mr. Ash Mufara, he is very strong, and he always said that he says the force is talking to him. He has that power, and he's not afraid of anything. But God will continue to guide and protect him and his family, as well as the dream team. No matter what, he will be there. God will be there for him, and nobody. ONPASSIVE is here to stay. Nobody will touch ONPASSIVE. Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. Thank you for accepting our invitation. We love you so much. Thank you, Papa. Yes, Papa.
Thank you, Queen Sister Penny. Brother Mamadou Jallo, let me, you can unmute yourself.
Yes.
For the first time, you're not working today. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I just want to join you all and Mr. Jeffrey for really praying for our field, because thinking about since the creation of this world, what has been happening and what is still going on, for him and his family to decide to change it to another direction that will be beneficial to all human beings. That's a monumental task, you know. So we just keep continuing to pray for him and his family. You know, it's very, very emotional thinking about what he is facing, trying to change this system. Let's imagine some of us are working for people. We know what is going on, how people are being disadvantaged and wrongfully treated. And for him to say, okay, I need to change this. This is not the way God wants us to be. That's a big, big task. So I'm just joining you all to continue to pray for him and his family, and to also thank you all for creating this avenue for us to be able to express ourselves on behalf of what he has done and still doing for us. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Brother Mamadou. We appreciate you, and thanks again for sharing. Sis, proceed.
You mean me, sis?
Yes.
Ah,
I
yeah.
say sis. You're one of my sissies.
Yes, of course. Brother Jeff, thank you for sharing your heart with us, because for most of us here, that's our heart. For this great mission, this is our heart. It runs deep in our veins. It's in our every thought, because we realize that this mission is bigger than all of us. It's beyond money. For somebody who's still thinking about just the money, then you're missing the mark, because this mission is bigger than money, right? It's heavier than money. So we are all called here, right? Mr. Ash said that, you know, he had the voice and he's called for this because he saw all these things, and he said, you know what? I'm sure there are kindred spirits out there. They are my brothers and sisters who will support me in this great mission, because this change that we're all looking for is not only for us, it's for generations after us. And when we know that there's better, we cannot settle for less. There is better. We cannot settle for less and sit in dysfunction and be okay and hand it over to our children and hand it over to future generations. We cannot do that. We all have a responsibility to say, when we are now activated to know that we can be better and we can do better, we cannot settle for less. So even in this mission, as we progress, right, we see everything that is happening around us. that consciousness that we're in now, to understand that we are called for something bigger, should stir up inside of all of us. And we should, I know there's complaints, there's a lot of things that are happening in the midst and in the middle of everything, because the mission, whatever that we're dealing with, is bigger than all of us here. But we should now bypass all of that and remember or know that we're here for something bigger, and we cannot afford to just be, how do I say? I'm so emotional right now. I'm trying to get myself together and gather my thoughts and not, so I'm trying to get myself together. So please, and pardon me. But we're called for something bigger, and it's easier to quit, guys. It's easier to quit than to persevere. I want to tell you this. It's easier. Mr. Ash doesn't know all of us, right? It was easy for him to shut everything down and walk away, but he knows that he has a greater purpose, and there are people and soldiers here. We are all soldiers for this mission. I want you to know that when you're here, you're a soldier for this mission. So we have to rise up in prayer, in thought, in our consciousness, in our speaking. What do we decree? What do we decree when we speak? He says that he will do this. Failure is not an option. We have to be in the same wavelength as him. We are all soldiers here for this mission. So we cannot be idle and wait when everything works. Then we're like, no. We are here to nurse this thing together and to make sure that we chase our purpose together, right? So by him agreeing to do this, he's activating all of us to join together, because we're all the kindred spirit. Those people that we were all watching, but we didn't know that there was a solution, and he's bringing the solution and says, guys, we are better than this. There's more than enough. We can do this. So all of those soldiers, all of us, we have to rise up. We have to rise up. It has to stir that anger in us to say we cannot settle for less, guys. There's better. We cannot settle for less. There's better. And so if one man is rising, it's our duty to push the mission and push him together in prayer and lift him up in prayer, right? And even if we're looking at, the technology is here, it's coming, we can see that things are working now. Things are stacking up. It's now for us now to rise up in that same spirit and say, it is working. It is working in our prayer, in our tongues, in everything that we do, in our consciousness. It is working. It is working, guys. So thank you so much, Brother Jeff, for mentioning this. It's not a mistake that you came with this mind, because it's now to remind us who we are. If you didn't know that you are a soldier for this mission, then you have to identify yourself and know that you have a responsibility to make sure that this works through your prayer, through your words, through your consciousness, your thoughts, everything. You have that responsibility. All of us have it. All of us. So thank you so much, Brother Jeff, because it is just stirring something in my spirit to say we cannot be idle and wait. We are also soldiers for this mission. I love you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Lerato. Thank you.
Queen Debbie?
Yes.
Dr. Benny has a visitor there that has her hand up physically for the longest of while.
I appreciate it.
So if you could...
Sorry, who is the person? Can you unmute?
Mary.
Mary.
She's here. She's
Mary,
here. She's ready
Dr.
to talk,
Benny.
please.
Mary, she's at Dr. Benny, using Dr. Benny camera.
Okay, Dr. Benny, you can have Queen Mary proceed.
Okay.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Dr. Derek, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The Bible tells us that never cease to pray. And there's a reason why they say don't cease to pray, because the devil is always at work. The devil is always at work, moving around, seeing something to kill. But Mr. Ash Mufara, he has a very good idea that will help the whole of humanity. And that's why the attacks will come over and over and over and over and over. But the Bible says resist the devil and it will go away. And we are resisting him. Mr. Fash is praying. All of us are praying. Prayer is the key to everything. Prayers open all the doors. I've had the experience of that. Prayer, and he's a very humble man. With all the intelligence, with all the money, he still humbles himself. And that's why the Bible says, humble yourself. He's a very humble man. He is very, very humble. Very, very, very humble. I repeat this. I wish all of us on ONPASSIVE should be humble as him. And we project his character that he wants us to follow. Dr. Jeffrey, thank you very much. We are watching. We thank you. We praise everybody. I praise all ONPASSIVians that we should have a one spirit, work positively towards one another. Nobody will be left behind. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Mary. We appreciate that. We appreciate it very much. Right, Brother Misa.
Yes, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to express my feeling. I was so stunned. I'm still shocked. I didn't even know that what I did, good thing to become ONPASSIVian. Thank you very much, Mr. Morlock. You made me to speak this today. I know that everybody knows that Mr. Mufara is not a god, but he's not a human also. Because look what he is doing for the humanity. None of the human can do that one. He's something beyond the human, in between God and human. That somebody is there. So he's in the form of human. He's appeared on the earth. But anyway, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate what he's doing. I really praise and I always pray for his safety, and I want him to be around us. One thing he struck very bad right now to me is yesterday what he said, that salary is a drug. Salary is a drug. The employer is giving us to be a poisoning us to be away from dream or something like that. I forget that exact word he used. That was so true. Anyway, I really appreciate that you give me the opportunity. Thank you very much. Back to you, Queen Debbie.
Thank you, Brother Misa. Yes, you're absolutely right. Salary is what an employer gives you to kill your dreams.
That's correct.
Thank you. Queen Sharon, welcome, Canada.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Speak today. Brother Jeffrey, you touched my heart. Last night, I'm not going to talk too long, I'm going to cry again, but last night when I was on the webinar, I started crying and listening to Ash speak. And then, just so you know, Brother Jeffrey, I hardly ever turn on my camera, and I turned it on today, and then listening to you speak, I started crying again. Thank God I got a box of Kleenex beside me, and I had to turn my camera off. But I just wanted to say just a few words. And one, it's always a pleasure listening to you speak. And I just want to say that we are one big family. Ash and his family has 1.4 million of us. We are his army. We are his soldiers. You mess with one of our family members, you mess with all of us. We are there for Ash, and we'll always be there in prayer, and we will take anybody down that tries to take him down. And I think there was a few more things I wanted to say, but I'm still emotional. I love you, Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Back to you, Sister Debbie.
Thank you, Queen Sharon. We appreciate you as well. Appreciate you very much. Okay, I see B. Stevens.
Yes, I must say I thank God for Mr. Ash. He's done a wonderful job of putting this business together, and I think it's really going to soar. But we are getting a fight, and the fight that we're getting is affecting most of the founders, because quite a few founders is trying to pay this money, and the banks are always fighting each and every payment. I don't understand why that is when the money is actually theirs. Or they claim they are the bank, and ONPASSIVE is stopping the payment. They give that back argument also. So I don't understand why there's a battle right there. Okay, most of us now need to probably go to crypto or something to find another way to pay. But I see that there is a struggle to pay. 40% that's paid, let me tell you, it's a lot more than 40% wants to pay. And somehow we're getting a struggle. I don't understand why that is. So I'm just saying that. A lot of this battle right here is the enemy. And we're not against Mr. Ash. We want to be with this man. This man has done so much, it's ridiculous. Nobody has ever fathomed this argument or try to put this money together so a lesser man or a little man can get up. So let me tell you, we're here to stay. The thing is, we just need an avenue that's not so resistive. They are trying to block us. And I just hope and pray we can find a way out of this zone, because the cards are the light of this business. We need to pay through these cards. So I don't know how we're going to work it out, but we got to do it. Anyway, that's my argument. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Brother B. Stevens. Thank you.
Hey, Deb.
Yes,
Deb?
Brother Jeffrey.
Can I say something to everybody about that?
Absolutely, please.
Yeah, we're having some some challenges with the finances, but Mr. Mufara said last night too that he has electronically stopped us from making multiple payments a day on the same card. So if somebody made a card within the 24-hour period and you try to make another one, it is ONPASSIVE stopping it. They don't want multiple payments made on a single card in a 24-hour period. So just kind of throwing that out there. That may be some of the cause. And the secondary thing, Mr. Stevens, you brought up 40%. It's kind of coincidental that 40% is what I mentioned with the founders, and I wasn't talking about finances or payment. I just want to clear up that what I was saying is the entire membership of ONPASSIVE has the founder base is only 40% now of the entire membership of ONPASSIVE. That's how many more people we have in ONPASSIVE. So I don't know if you were. I just want to clear that up. That's all. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. Yes, our CEO did state that you should not pay for more than one card unless it's after 24 hours. So if you did not get that, this is just a reclarification. Queen Satna. Sorry, Dr. Derek.
Just to add in that of what Sir Barrington implicated. The card payment is live now. It has been live for a little while now. Maybe he hasn't, or persons haven't checked in their ecosystem as yet. But the card payments is now live once again. Everything was cleared up since last night. And so the card payment is now live. So it's not only crypto, but it's now once again card and crypto. The default is the card, of course, and so as King Jeffrey just stated, that only one, and Queen Debbie, only one, because that was one of the main issues. We are one of the persons that is causing a lot of the issues, you know. And of course, yes, the payment processor couldn't handle. Because if you, in other words, if you were to pay for, let's say, 10 shoes, you're going to put 10 shoes on one order and just purchase the 10 shoes in one order. But that is not what we are doing, and we can't do it that way, unfortunately, because each account is separate. I'm just trying to explain and all of that. When we do one shoes, and then go back again and do another shoes, and then go back again and do another shoes, you know, it looks funny. That's a funny type of way of buying something on the internet. And so right away, your bank is going to flag that because that's a funny situation going on there, right? And that's one of the main causes also. And, you know, with the amount, 200,000 people, 300,000 people doing that at the same time, then it caused a major issue with the person that is providing the payment processor, which he stated that he could handle it, but unfortunately he couldn't. All right, so it wasn't ONPASSIVE wrinkle, it was really the payment processor situation, which hopefully now that ONPASSIVE has take evasive on our behalf, so that we can now pay, but we cannot pay more than once in a 24-hour period, so that it cuts down the amount of one person paying 20 times in the one day, which that's a problem really, generally on the internet. All right. So just bear those things in mind. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. Hello, everyone. I just want to say this. If you can just please, we're begging your permission to lower your hands so we can do one more update, and then we'll take all the hands. Sister Sapna, I know you're up. You, Sister Esther and Queen Janet, we're going to take you as soon as the updates team is done with the updates. So we're moving to updates. Just lower your hands, and we're going to come back and start with Sister Sapna.
Just do the three hands, them.
Yeah, I'm seeing more hands coming up. I think Queen Sharon is okay. All right.
Yeah, but you just take these three or two.
All right, Queen Sapna, you can proceed.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and this is I will just take a 1 minute for my brother Jeffrey Morlock, and I will go for 2 lines if you give me permission. You are a good soldier, choosing your battle. Pick yourself up and dust yourself or get back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. You know it's serious, we are getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it, but you got it on, believe it. If you fell, get up, oh, and if you fell, get up, Tasmania Sangileva. Because this is ONPASSIVE. This isn't ONPASSIVE. This isn't ONPASSIVE. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen Sapna. Thank you so much. We appreciate having you and that inspirational song. Queen Janet.
Hello?
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, I tried to use my cards today and they haven't been used for over 48 hours. And everyone been denied, and I checked with my bank, and they said sometimes it doesn't show in their system, and when it do show, they cannot understand why it is not paying, because the money is in the bank and they are they don't say the reason, they are not flagging it, and I know it's not it's over 24 hours. I only use it one time and I cannot get through. And even my people that I'm trying to help, they're just using their cards for the first. They use credit cards, they use ATM cards, never been used before, and they're having the same thing. Okay, since a couple of days now, that's all I'm trying to do is help them, and nobody can make a payment. And
all right. Okay, Janet. I thought you were commenting on Jeffrey Morlock.
Well, I'm going to do that also.
Hold on. That is what you should have done. Because that is what we, I was allowing persons who were commenting on Jeffrey. And you're trying to show that inside there. Just hold on with all of those questions and just be patient. There's nothing that,
Mr. Jeffrey.
just hold on, Janet. There's nothing that can be done in respect. You just have to be patient.
Yes.
Really and truly. Everything is being sought out. We have to remember it's not just an America thing, you know. It's 200 plus countries that ONPASSIVE is trying to sort out, you know.
Yes.
And with just one country. And that is why normally when a company is going out globally, they deal with region by region. Some companies just start with America alone. America alone, nowhere else. And then they branch out and go in other regions, right? We are trying 200 plus regions at the same time. Let us be patient, please. Let us be patient. If you do it one time and it doesn't go through, and you check your bank, you check your this, you check your that, and you see that, well, the money didn't come out of your bank account, and just be patient. Just be patient and wait for another 24 hours, in spite of the fact that you might not use the card 48 hours or last week. It doesn't matter. Let us just be patient. Do it one time in a 24-hour period. If you did it one time and it didn't go through, just wait another 24 hours. It's as simple as that. Just wait another 24 hours, another 24 hours, wait another 24, wait and just wait. All right? But just try it once in a 24-hour period. That is it. That's all we can say right now, because that's right now, but just to wait each 24-hour period from once you use it or try it. It's as simple as that. Okay, so just be patient. So let us get over back now to Queen Debbie. Thank you.
Hey, Debbie. I'm sorry to bug you again. Can I kind of follow up with what Doctor was saying there? Just as a reminder, everybody, it's not just we launched OConnect, but it's not just one product, because what we essentially did was we went commercial with the marketing program, with the financial program, with the AI automation program, and with the OConnect program, and it's connected to everything all over. So when one thing goes bang over here, it's liable to go bang in 3 other places as well. So Dr. Derek is spot on. We just be patient. Things are happening. We know that they're working on these things. I am so amazed that this is all the challenges we've seen. We are so big and there are so many moving parts. It is just beyond me to understand why we haven't crashed and burned in some particular place. But they're doing an excellent job. So just please be patient. Know that he's working for you. He's not letting it go. It's going to get done. We got this. Thank you.
Unmute, Queen Debbie. Unmute. You have to unmute. That's very important.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You can tell I was speaking, right? Brother Jeffrey, this is the longest time we'll have to keep you on your seat after your presentation. Thank you. This is a September to remember forever. Dr. Derek, I'm just not going to continue ranting. Please proceed with updates, please. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And peace, blessings, enough holy, plenty, a lot of holy love to every one of our users. Let me just define a few things before we go into the update, because we are using words and we're not sure of the words. All of us who have registered are users. Let me say that again. All of us who have registered are users. Now there are users that are founders, and there are users that are not founders. Right? Beautiful. And so, all of us, again, are users. Now, to become a reseller, because this is where I guess the technical part coming for some people. Persons who become resellers is two phases. First phase is that you have to click on become an affiliate. That's the first phase. You have to become an affiliate. And the second phase, and not in that order, because you can do one before the other. The second phase is that you have to purchase the subscription, and you are a reseller. Okay? So, in other words, you can become a customer without being a reseller. So if you purchase the product, the subscription, and you did not click on become an affiliate, then you are just a customer. And you can be a customer who is a founder, or you can be a customer who is not a founder. All right? So let us try to, if we are asking questions, ask it based on what I just said. Right? All of us are resellers if we become a affiliate and we purchase the subscription ourselves. Then we are a reseller. We are a customer if we don't click on become an affiliate and we purchase the subscription. Okay? But all of us are users. All of us. Wonderful. Thank you very much. All right. And so, in respective to where the updates are concerned, just before we do the, well, let me call on Queen Kanla, because Queen Kanla will be the person who is doing the updates with me also. But just to say, King Jeffrey, oh my goodness, awesome presentation. That presentation was really heartfelt. Who said that man don't show emotion? Who said that? Queen Debbie, why is the men don't show emotion? What kind of conversation that you're trying to pull on men? Of course men show emotion when it is needed. Come on, please. I mean, anyway, yes, men show emotions, you know. So don't worry about that. Anyway, thank you very much, King Jeffrey. It was awesome. And I tell you, it is ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is the heart of humanity. So if you didn't get that before, yes, try get that now. Queen Lerato, oh my goodness, and if that pronunciation is wrong, yes, the View Restaurant in Manhattan, when you come over, that's where we will be. Married to your struggles, oh my goodness. Listen, you need to Queen Lerato, you need to get copyright on that one, because that one is hit the nail on the head. And that is why the mindset is so important, you know, brethren, people. That is why the mindset is so very important, because yes, a lot of us are married to our struggles, and so we don't see ourselves living without struggles. And because we don't see ourselves living without struggles, oh my goodness, we just married to it. We just married to it. And we will not let it go. Hell or high water, we're not letting it go. Please, let us start divorcing our struggles. Let us start getting that mindset, as Queen Lerato suggested, that you know, we need to divorce our struggles. Don't know what to do with money. Most people know what to do with money, but most people don't know what to do with money in a positive context at times. And that is why a person, you know, get rich, and within a few months or maybe a couple of years, they get worse off. They're so broke that they're worse off than they were before they got that riches. Let us understand that everything in life depends on your mindset. And that is why Dream Team takes very intricate, real, and dedicated persons that talks eloquently about the mindset, because that is very, 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 very important. Let us really understand that. Very important. And so I call on Queen Kanla just to give her hi and hello as one of the persons that will be also doing the updates.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. Greetings, Dream Team on ONPASSIVE. Oh yeah. Today, I want to celebrate every member of Dream Team. I want to celebrate our CEO, Mr. Ash. I want to celebrate his family. I want to celebrate the tech team. They are the brain behind where we are today. It's been years, and I will continue to celebrate and show gratitude and thank them. And like our sister Lerato said, oh my, that was an exceptional mindset. Change is difficult, and when change comes, we don't follow change at the same level or at the same frequency. Some will be ahead, some will be in the middle, some will be behind, and some will not even want to go. But as an ONPASSIVE family, we are one with one mission, and we will get there. No family will be left behind. We are going to hold each other's hands, and we march onward together. So thank you. Even with the difficulties, we will overcome those fears, and we will get to our destination, because we know we have a CEO in Mr. Ash, appointed for a mission, our visionary, and he's going to lead us to that place by God's grace, the Almighty. So I wanted to express that thankfulness and that gratitude. Thank you, Queen Lerato. Wonderful mindset. We love you, sis. And thank you to all our leaders, our panelists. You've been so wonderful, so gracious. We appreciate you. And thank you also to all members watching us online. We appreciate you. We love you. We know that you are there. My name is Kanla Rachel from the First State, Delaware. I will be at your service with the updates team. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Kanla. All right, so let us quickly look at the updates that we have for September 17. All right. Before we fully get into it, I just want to show us that since September 1, you know. I mean, this you see, and that's why the mindset is so very important. This is why the mindset is so important. Because since September 1, 43 persons have cancelled their accounts, or 43 accounts have been cancelled for whatever reason. Whether they want back, or they mess up, or they do whatever it is. 43 just since September 1. It's just mind-boggling, and it has to do with the mindset. September 12th, Ashmufara came on, and he said that this is going to be a September to remember. Not everyone will succeed, and that is so true because of the mindset. But they can. Every one of us can, but it has to do with the mindset. We already had more people in the very first weekend who gained commission, and he talked about how much they paid out just last night than any other company I have been in. Users are welcome with 10. Oh, which company does that? You are welcomed, not by paying, but by receiving 10 O coin. And each coin is $1 US. Can you imagine? That is just awesome.
Early birds users got the 97 deposited in your account. The first sale is 100% of the purchase cost as commission to those that choose to be affiliates. When you pay 143 for the 3 months, that's less than $50 per month for 10,000 webinar capacity. This is an unbelievable value.
And this is an unbelievable amount. Watch this now. When Zoom started, they could only accommodate 15 people maximum. 15. We're not understanding the value that we are having in ONPASSIVE. And King Jeffrey speak over and over on the value of ONPASSIVE. They started with 15 in Zoom. 15 back in 2011. 15. Come on. And ONPASSIVE is starting OConnect with 10,000.
Yes.
Can you imagine? That should us, that alone should have you thinking on the value that is placed on ONPASSIVE. We are ready to release the second payout, and it will be massive as a part of the affiliate agreement. This will be per cycle populated in the end of the cycle, added again to the wallet and withdrawal available if you qualify.
Absolutely. Note, some tried to withdraw early on. September 11th, the team started looking into the validation of the withdrawals. If everything was done correctly, all should go through. Crypto payments will be faster. The bank process will depend on the bank and country. This could be 10 to 15 days. Did we hear that?
Yes.
10 to 15 days.
Don't worry about that. That's okay. When the first request is cleared, the next withdrawal can be submitted. So don't pack up. In other words, you see 200 or 400 in your wallet now, and you withdraw it now. And before it reaches your bank account, you see 300 or 400 or $1,000 again inside there, and you want to withdraw it again. You have to wait until that one that you withdraw clear and reach into your bank account, then you can do another process. Please don't mud up the system. Please let us not mud up the system. Thank you. Go ahead.
When the first request is cleared, the next withdrawal can be submitted. Disclosure about payment merchants. Right now, only crypto is accepted because we had to pull down the merchant processing. The merchant was warned that this would be a massive number to process.
Definitely. But as I said earlier, the card payment is back up again. All right. So it's not only crypto. You can now proceed with your card payments. But please, again, from once you tried today at 12 or 2 or 3 or whatever the time is in your neck of the wood, do not try again before the same time that you, remember it's 24 hours, not the next day. So I know some people might try at 3 o'clock p.m. and they wake up 11 o'clock in the morning and they're trying again. No, you have to wait until after 3 when you try to make that payment before you attempt to do it again. Please let us be patient and work with the system, right? Because the first 24 hours they backed up and got a panic because they had never seen this happen before. And this you are talking about, Ash was talking about the payment processor, because ONPASSIVE don't control the payment processor as yet. Hopefully that might be soon. This is the best problem thus far, because yes, when they see money, I mean, you open a barber shop or a beauty salon or a car dealer, and when you driving coming up the boulevard, you see a line start at the when you just turn on the boulevard, and you're driving up the boulevard, and this long line. And when you look, it's right there at your barber shop or your beauty salon, the lines is turning into. That is a good problem. And that is what happened in ONPASSIVE. Many persons is paying for their subscription, and they couldn't manage it. It scattered and broke all records. They are holding all the funds, and the company had to pay for this. Don't worry about it. ONPASSIVE is ensuring that we are paid when we are to be paid. So you and I don't have to worry about anything that is happening in the background, because Ash Mufari and ONPASSIVE will take care of it.
We will not continue to put money into this company without them performing and doing what they contracted to do. Saying is one thing and doing it is another. No one will be affected by this. The commission will be delivered. It is likely we will not use the same merchant. But tens of millions have been delayed because of the merchant's inability
to deliver what they promise.
Yes.
There will be more bonuses and more commissions coming. So stay tuned. OConnect app. Kindly remove the old one that whoever told you to download whatever. OConnect app. Kindly remove it, and we have now seen the web application in the OConnect. So if you go and log in into your ecosystem, and well, you would have to purchase. Now you'd have to purchase OConnect, or if you just came on board today, then you have the 14-day free trial. Just click on it. But OConnect would have to be in your left-hand menu for you to click on OConnect, and when you're in the OConnect web dashboard, when you're in the dashboard, then you actually see the OConnect for Android, and there's a QR code, so for you to scan for your phone. There's a OConnect for your web browser. You just click on it if you are on your computer already, with a laptop or desktop, and it will be downloaded. And if you have a Apple iOS, then you just click and enlarge the QR code, scan it with your phone, and that is the only reputable place that you can go to get all OConnect app. Let me say that again. The only reputable place. So if you have an OConnect app on your phone already, and it wasn't from where I'm describing, delete it and go to your ecosystem. Click on OConnect if you have already paid the subscription for it, or if you just came on board after September 1, then you still have the 14 days free trial. But click on OConnect in your left-hand menu, and you see the 2 QR code, and you see the web application right there. Please to use that and only that application, please, going forward.
brag about our apps, deliver the good news and the truth about these applications. Select them to be auto-upgraded. This will happen seamlessly, frequently for you to get the best experiences with the Connect product.
Nice. More features and more perks than any application. And it will get better and better. We paused the virtual backgrounds because they did not perform as planned. Thanks to our AI and machine learning department, I can announce that OConnect has the highest resolution than any other platform.
Improvements will continue week after week. Many thanks to the AI ML team for the noise cancellation feature. It will go live within the next few days or so.
Nice.
It will recognize your voice, but all other sounds will be cancelled.
Nice. The virtual avatar feature will be coming soon, and the YouTube capability will be coming after more discussion about the program is given. Marketing for ONPASSIVE discussion. The viewers must have a customer account. You want to capture your customer. The reason we did it, some of our leaders have monetized on YouTube.
They are gaining traffic and are getting paid, but no one will get paid any more than what ONPASSIVE will pay. Save your time. No other company exists that pays what ONPASSIVE pays. Don't harm the heavy meat for your OES. Reach out to your followers and to register and bring them into the ecosystem. In other words, do you want little money or do you want big
money?
Money.
Do you want clean, ethical money? Do you want little money? Or do you want ONPASSIVE's more fair money? I highly recommend we make it available in packages. It doesn't cost your viewers anything to get a free account. We will talk more about this. Start thinking bigger.
A live stream feature will be available in a few weeks. Viewers will be able to rewind during the live streaming to hear something missed. Annotation and video backgrounds will be coming. Personal backgrounds can be uploaded soon.
Nice. In a month or a year from now, OConnect will look so different. When Oshaka, Odesk, or other surprises come to the market, there will be no surprises when the sale go wild. Just like ONPASSIVE OConnect did. This has never been done or seen before, but it is now being manifested. When we say it will happen, it will happen. It's for real.
A unicorn is born. Life will be changed. Status will be updated. And many are now able to dare to dream. Many are now becoming heroes. Your names, our names, will be on the brand, not ONPASSIVE. You will be the brand to be marketed. The insanity of insanity is what we are about to announce, because ONPASSIVE just loves to do it.
I have explained the merchant issue we will dissolve anything, good or bad. Overall, we launch commercially by invitations only, and now we are open publicly. With ONPASSIVE, this huge technology, this game changer was beyond the expected. I am not satisfied. I am actually so pleased about how ONPASSIVE did it, and it will only get better and better from now on.
Delete any app you have downloaded, and this Thursday you will be able to download the newest app. Please download from your ecosystem only. Once downloaded, select the app to be auto upgraded. And remember to give us a good review in the App Store.
Wonderful. And yes, it's not Thursday yet, but it is already in the ecosystem. So you can go to your ecosystem, click on OConnect, and download the app from there. If you haven't purchased the OConnect subscription, then you will not see the app, because the app is in OConnect dashboard. You will be on live stream news presented by the O Media team. Remember, Supercar Majlis. On the 21st of September, there is a big event coming. Details to follow. On the 25th of September, another big event is coming. Details to follow.
October 1st, huge and massive event with Supercars Majlis for our first client, Atlantis, the Royal in Palm Jumeirah Islands, Dubai. Date subject to change. We get all the exposure and all the followers from the Supercars Majlis, members with exclusive events just for ONPASSIVE.
More than 20% of new OConnect purchasers came from non-founders or non-founding members. We are honored to have them as our new customers. And as you remember, there was a competition to be the first honorary customer of ONPASSIVE Technologies.
When the card processor goes live, which Dr. Derek and others have said the cards are now, you can now purchase, each card will be programmed to buy only for one every 24 hours. The suspicion of fraud is very high when there are multiple purchases in a short time. It was never Ash's plan to have more than one account. If you have multiple accounts, have a plan to manage the multiple payments.
Beautiful. And don't misunderstand. Ash Mufar is not saying don't or you shouldn't have more than one account. It's just that don't expect that you pay for one and all paid. And that sort of scenario. Okay? You have to deal with each account as separate. Please remember that. Payment in crypto, no limitations. The ecosystem should be ready via app in a few days, and yes, it is ready right now. Not the end of the month. Well, the ecosystem app, sorry. This is there will be an ecosystem app, and by the end of the month it should be ready. So please bear that in mind. There will also be an ecosystem app, and you'll be able to more likely get it in the ecosystem. So don't look around in any app store now for the app. Please wait until the ecosystem app is populated in your ecosystem. Then you can click there for it, and you will be good to go. And so therefore, please, ladies and gentlemen, let us buckle up. Let us buckle up, because, of course, this is how
we do it.
This is the updates, and we are on Passive
Pioneers.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And these were the updates last week. Brought to you 17th of September. Over to you, Queen Debbie.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. I like the clapping towards the end. That was really nice.
Yeah,
okay, thank you so much to all our YouTube viewers. We appreciate